What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Silent Hill Blind. In the last episode, we opened some jelly bellies that are apparently the key, no pun intended, to the next bit of the nowhere puzzle. Yeah, this place is a lot more expansive than I'd anticipated, and thank you guys so much for your positive comments. I know that this segment can be a little bit long, and me trying to work through puzzles that you guys have seen before can be frustrating for some people to watch, but you guys have been patient and even enjoy my trying to figure these things out. So thank you for that. It means a lot. And so I did take a look at the guide briefly, and apparently the jelly bellies, which were not in this room, and were instead in this room. Nope, that's nope, not that room. In this room were indeed the key to what we needed to do. I think it dropped a key, so I couldn't see it very well from where I was standing before, but there is indeed a key on the floor here, and that is going to be the difference maker. There's a key of Bethor. Okay, so yeah, all I had seen is that, well, the instructions said open the jelly belly, or open the bag of jelly beans and grab the key, and I was like, hold up a minute, I didn't grab a key. So here we are. They'd also mentioned reading the book at one point, which was a bit surprising because I wasn't able to read it, and it was prior to this point in the puzzle. But we'll go back eventually. What is that sound? It sounds like it's the generator, and it certainly looks like it's the generator. Is there anything on the ground before I interact with the generator? What does this say? The generator is working. Do you want to press the switch? I do. So now, the generator is no longer working. Is there anything to pick up on the ground? No, I don't think so. Okay. So now that we've done that, we should be able to finally get that electrified key, which I believe was on the second floor? I believe? I think we can jump up there by doing this. Oh! Are we being greeted by friends again? Oh, it's one of these guys, though. These are finally, like, attacking us now. I think the point is that, like, we saw them when they were, like, really early on. And they were, like, the little tiny things that would whimper away. And now, at this point, they've grown strong enough to the point of actually attacking us. I think it was all the way down on the end. Yeah. Okay. So this is the electrified key. Oh wait, that's right, we don't need to use an item, but it should no longer be electrified, and sure enough, the sound effect of the crackling went away as well. The key of Eritron. Okay. So we'll take that, and presumably that's going to be one of the other doors in that hallway. It is a little bit frustrating that we pick up a key to turn off a generator to come up here to pick up a key that lets us into a different door. There wasn't a lot of puzzle involved in that so much as simply following, I don't know, orders. What? These things again? Aw, man, I was almost there. Dang. It's a real fighter there. Okay, and that's the wrong way. Turn around, Harry. There we go. Now, Eritron, I believe, is the one all the way down on the right. You alright there, Harry? Okay. Let's see in here. Ooh, cutscene? I'm gonna be treated to a cutscene? Whoa.
Everything is going according to plan, sheltered in the womb.
What?
But it's not done yet. Half the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant.
The seed? In the womb?
And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down in the subconscious.
Are you trying to say it won't work?
What are they trying to
That
do?
wasn't our agreement.
No, these are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear, the promise shall not be broken.
So it's Doctor and Dahlia.
Power we could draw now will be very weak. Almost nothing. Unless we get the other half of the soul.
Where's the other half of the soul?
We'll use a magical spell. Feeling this child's pain, it's sure to come.
But that will take time.
Huh? What is going on? Okay, so this is the room where Alessa was. Would you listen to that as well? So it seems like Alessa and Cheryl are maybe the two halves of the soul. They need to bring together these two halves of the soul to bring about some power, some darkness overshadowing Silent Hill. I don't know. And the doctor was in on it. We have this red liquid, this unknown liquid that was probably implicated in it somehow. I don't know. It's confusing stuff, guys. Alright, anything back here? Surely there's going to be something on this desk next to Alessa's picture. Alessa, okay, is that some ammo? Or it's the disc of Ouroboros. Ouroboros. I recognize that from Resident Evil 5. Fun fact, the only Resident Evil games I've played are 5 and 6. I've played both of them twice. Most Resident Evil fans would not appreciate hearing such a thing. Okay, so we finally have the 5th item. Maybe I'm missing out on something by not reading the botanical book. Maybe, maybe not. At this point, I'm more interested in just, you know, moving along. So let's save, because we have completed the rest of the, I don't know, puzzles and everything. And we can move on. I'm really curious to figure out what is actually going on. Dahlia's obviously evil. She's trying to incubate some half of a soul in the womb of someone, something, some monster. It needs another half of a soul. Referring to the child's pain is probably to Alessa. Alessa, like, where are we? Is this some sort of poltergeist? Was Dahlia even telling the truth about darkness overcoming Silent Hill? You know, like, is this reality? Is this... There were two dimensions, I don't like that word, two, like, parallel universes that, like, merged at one point, like a dark and, like, a real version? I don't know. I don't know 100%. Hopefully we'll figure it out at the end. Part of the appeal of the game is that it is uncertain of what everything is. Wow, did you guys hear how much more menacing the music got when I added that? Wow. But yeah, part of the appeal is trying to figure it out and being, you know, confused throughout it.
No. No. I don't want to. Do what Mommy tells you now. I just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power. That's all. No. I don't want to do it.
What is she forcing Alessa to do?
It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too. Oh, but Mommy, I just want to be with you.
This rings so many
Just
Stockholm
2 of
bells.
us. Please understand. Oh, yes, I see. Maybe Mommy has been wrong.
Uh-oh.
Mommy! Why didn't I see this before?
Now
There's
she's just
no
gonna, like,
reason to wait.
completely crack and just be forceful and abusive.
Herein lies the mother's womb, containing the power to create life. I could have done it all myself. Mommy?
Huh? Talking about the mother's womb, being able to do it all herself? Lending Alessa's power? She has some sort of power? Is she, like, supernatural? Did Dahlia give her that power? Mommy, is that more figurative? Or is that literally that Dahlia is Alessa's mom? Dahlia is trying to force Alessa to use her power for some project Dahlia obviously has in mind? Huh, but Dahlia then has the idea she can do it herself? I don't know. Okay, looks like we're going further down. Anything interesting in these paintings? What is going on with that painting? You guys see that? It looks almost like a crucifixion. Something of the sort. All the religious imagery. Alright, well, further down we go. You always know when you're going further downstairs in a horror game, you're getting into some deeper stuff.
Dahlia.
Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far.
Where's
It's
Cheryl?
boss
What
time.
have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times restored to her former self.
Restored to her former self.
I'm in no mood
Alessa?
for jokes.
Are they one and the same? Reincarnation? Something? I don't know.
She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
I mean, a lot more about this situation is absurd.
Why are you doing this?
What is in that wheelchair?
It's been a long 7 years.
Waiting for Cheryl to grow up,
For
or
the
what?
7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death.
Using some dark magic stuff to keep her alive after she died, or what?
Trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens.
Is that like what we're dealing with right now?
He has been nurtured by that nightmare,
He.
waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come.
What being is nurtured by
The
nightmares?
time is nigh.
Darkrai?
Everyone will be released from pain and suffering.
That sounds like a euphemism for massacre.
Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning.
Oh, there was that book we read in the elementary school, right?
All our sorrows will be washed away.
There was one about a monster, one about poltergeist.
When we return to the true paradise.
Yeah, it's all I'm not really buying this whole return to time paradise, or true paradise.
Daughter will be the mother of God.
Yikes. The mother of God, womb of life, providing these nightmares to feed this monster thing. I don't know. What just happened?
It's awakening. It's awake.
Is it like embodying Alessa
No
now?
one can interfere.
Cheryl!
Is it Cheryl or Dahlia? Not or Alessa?
Exist. This is a God descending among us to reach out and save us.
Dahlia, you're gonna be the first to go. Called it. Why did she go up in flames? Hey Cheryl, it's me, Dad. I was wondering, I was hoping we could talk. The way you're acting right now, I might have no choice but to ground you. Oh my. And that brought us super low on health. Okay, so let's take a look at our items. We're gonna use the gun, I guess. We're doing damage. Whenever we get close... Oh, or not even if... Or maybe if we don't even get close. Can I, like, mash out of this? Oh, I can. So let's take a second and think real quick. Just trying to piece this together. So Dahlia... Something with Cheryl and Alessa being the same. 7 years of Alessa being semi-alive, maybe? Stuck in a nightmare? Which is maybe related to this, like, poltergeist alternate reality we've been experiencing. That's, like, parallel with the real Silent Hill. Like, nurturing some demon over the 7 years that has now finally been born via possessing Alessa, potentially. Alessa / Cheryl. And Dahlia goes up in flames. I'm a little lost. I think that's intentional, or at least expected. So we'll take some shots. Oh, we just got smacked. This reminds me of the fight with the cop. I forget her name at this point. I'll just use a health drink. Brings us up to a comfortable amount of HP. I'm pretty sure this is our last fight. I don't know. I mean, is there something else to do? Can I, like, get close to her? No. You can see when she's, like, building up the lightning and everything. We're low on health again. We're firing through these handgun shots quite a bit. Assuming we hit. Run, Harry, run! I mean, I'm as close as I can get, realistically. This has to be doing something. I don't know if I can actually dodge these attacks, though. Doesn't seem like it. We'll use our last health drink, so we don't die from this attack, but... Is this really all there is to this? Right? Like, just standing here shooting, waiting for the lightning attacks that I can't avoid? What is happening?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Cheryl!
Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye.
What?
Cheryl?
So it was Cheryl. Cheryl at least recognized us.
Can't leave like this.
Why is everything going down in fire?
This can't be happening. Cheryl? Cheryl!
Is this whole, like, dark reality? What? And then the credits? What? What? Credits? Are you kidding me? Okay, so I feel like I just got a bad end of sorts. So let's think about this real quick. Cheryl was Alessa that we've been seeing, and we maybe entered this nightmare that she was living in and nurturing this god type thing that came down, and when we killed it, it was bringing down the dark universe or whatever, maybe? Returning the world to normal, but obviously killing Cheryl in the process? Is there a way to prevent her from turning into that? Maybe that's what would be the good end, right? I don't know. There's something I missed. I didn't use the unknown liquid. I think that's really important. I wasn't able to look at the botany book. Huh. There's got to be something that shows up after the credits and explains a little bit more. There's got to be something. Because I still feel like I don't have my answers. I think what my current understanding is that Alessa was Cheryl. We'd been looking for Cheryl. When we got to Silent Hill, we like crashed and entered this sort of like alternate, or we're transporting back and forth between this alternate reality. Cheryl, getting close to Silent Hill, and Dahlia was like some sort of physical manifestation of Alessa, who had been being, kept in that hospital and undergoing like these nightmares and being kept sort of alive throughout that entire time to feed this god. And then once we got close, that's when, as like, I don't know, the god had been getting closer and closer to bringing darkness all upon Silent Hill. Those like dark worlds and real worlds started merging more and more, and eventually they did merge, and in the process we sought Dahlia and then this like god, and then took the god down, which turned out to be Alessa / Cheryl, who maybe like incubated it and then was like possessed by it at some point, and that's how we saved the day, I guess. Lisa was the nurse that was taking care of her. And then here's Harry, who's dead in the car crash from the very beginning. So we were dead the whole time? So there's Lisa, the nurse, and maybe the doctor? Lisa Garland. Was Harry really dead the entire time? Michael Kaufman, he was the doctor. The cop. What's her name again? Sybil Bennett. She met a rather unfortunate fate on the merry-go-round. Here's Cheryl, who looks significantly more adult than she really should be. But Cheryl Mason, appreciate the graphics nonetheless. Who are you? Is that Alessa? Alessa Gillespie. Why is she so much older? And so, I'm still confused, but here's Dahlia. This end credits is so funny. These poses and everything are so, like, odd for the characters that they're, you know, displaying. Was Harry really dead the whole time? He died in the car crash and then woke up? But then, like, did we just go to a poltergeist, some alternate reality? Was that even somewhat related to reality? Was it all a dream? Is that the answer? Is it gonna pull a Super Mario Bros. 2 on us and just say it was all a dream? Harry Mason. Game result. Ending bad. Yeah, looks like it. We ended up killing Cheryl / Alessa. Didn't save anyone. Potentially died in the very beginning. Maybe that's different in the true ending. So the game clear 1, saves 55, continues 9, total time of 7 hours and 45 minutes. Plenty of walking and running distance. Items 161 out of 204. So we didn't get all of the items. Defeat enemies by fighting, by shooting, shooting style, short range shots, half the time middle range shots, long shots, no aiming shots. Your rank 3.5 or 3 to 4 stars. Okay, I'm not too surprised. It's pretty cool that they give a ranking system like this. And yes, that is a bad ending. It felt like a bad ending. Was Harry really dead? Is that something that's ending dependent? I don't know. Is it okay to save? Next game mode, hard. Yeah, we can save. We'll save on a new file, obviously. Next fear. Huh, that's pretty cool. And then is it going to go back to the beginning? The fear of blood tends to create fear for the flesh. Maybe we should one time take a look at this again. So this is Harry giving birth to Cheryl with... That doesn't look like Alessa. Right? That doesn't look like a character we've seen before. Or holding, not giving birth to, holding Cheryl. Harry waking up after the car crash in which he might have died. Right? Lisa is scared, running around in the hospital that she's trapped in after being caring for Alessa. There's Dahlia, being the creepy Dahlia she is. There's Alessa, who's significantly older than she appeared. Lisa finding comfort in your boy Harry. Then Dr. Kaufman with a gun, who we didn't really see much of, but apparently was complicit in the whole mess with some medicine keeping Alessa alive or something. I don't know. Harry and Cheryl driving, potentially crashing. Alessa stuck in a nightmare, barely alive, presumably, bandaged up and all that, in that basement hall. Right? She looks like alive in the real world. Sybil riding up on us. Lisa trying to leave, tired of taking care of Alessa and all that jazz. Dr. Kaufman not letting her go. Lisa having a good time for once. I remember a weird scene with Dahlia where she's like running from some building or whatever coming up, right? Or Cheryl. Yeah, interestingly, I didn't see... Yeah, this scene, right? Dahlia running, looking horrified. What is up with this house? We never ended up seeing anything with that. Who is that? Oh, that was Alessa. Alessa was the person we potentially ran into. Huh? How did that happen? She didn't look like she was all bandaged up and everything either. She looked normal. Was that a ghost or... Oh man, I'm so confused. I want to look up how to get a better ending and see how far back I need to go. And if that's the case, I mean, if that's something I can do. Just because I don't want to spend a ton of time replaying parts of the game. I mean, at a certain point, I would just say, okay, here's some YouTube videos of the endings. If I know I need to do like a certain thing differently, or it depends on, it really depends on how far back I need to go in order to get these particular endings if I want to try and get them myself, or if they have different boss fights or something like that, different gameplay elements, then it'd be something I'd be interested in. So I'm going to look that up briefly, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so I just looked it up. There are actually a few different endings that we could potentially get, and they all hinge upon a couple different things. The first of which being apparently saving Sybil, and the second of which being a sort of side quest or a series of events related to Dr. Kaufman, neither of which we did. So I'm kind of up in the air about it. We would have to go back to the Sybil fight with the merry-go-round and everything. It was funny because I suspected that it may not be intended to be such a fight, and that maybe should have been a clue to try to use something else. But it turns out if we use the unknown liquid on Sybil, we can actually save her. And I'm curious to know what cutscene ensues from that. And then if we just save Sybil and then play through the rest of the game, we'll get one ending. And then there's also a sequence of events with Dr. Kaufman where you have to go to like a motel and something with his motorcycle, and that will get you, a cutscene and all. And then if you just do that, you'll get a particular ending. And then there's an ending that's different if you do both of those things in the same run. And then apparently there's also one joke ending involving a UFO from a New Game Plus, which is probably beyond the time commitment I want to put in. So I have saves throughout the entire game. So, and I know how to do the rest of the game. It's just a matter of whether or not I want to put in all of that time. Going back and saving Sybil in that fight, seeing that cutscene is something I think is reasonable. Going back and maybe doing the Kaufman quest is reasonable. Playing through the last part of the game 3 different times to see those particular endings, I'm not so sure. So what I'll do is I'll say, for now, we're going to leave it at this, and I'll probably make a bonus episode with some of these things. However, no guarantees that I'll play through the entire rest of the game again. I do want to give my thoughts on the game, though. It might feel like a little bit premature, though, without seeing the other endings. So I explained my understanding of all the events as I had mentioned in the credits and all that. But overall, I thought this was a really good game. I was very pleasantly surprised by how well it aged, despite being so old. Graphically, I think it's really great graphics for the times, and even today, it wasn't too much of a hindrance, right? I really appreciate the environments. The enemies looked great. The cutscenes were awesome. I think, even despite being a PlayStation 1 game, the graphics held up really well. The sound design was excellent. I really appreciated the soundtrack, both using it to indicate when enemies were going to be there as kind of like a gameplay mechanic, but then also just feeding into the ambiance of all the different areas, really building up the atmosphere, creating that eerie vibe, right? Is really important. And the voice acting could have been better, but it wasn't awful. And what else? I mean, the gameplay, running around, I'm not a big fan of tank controls, though you obviously do get used to them. Combat wasn't really fun, I would say. It was more a vehicle, a means to an end. So if there were a more fun way to make combat a little bit more enjoyable, that would be neat. I do think they did a good job of, balancing scarcity of ammo and weapons with melee combat and, healing items and all that. But again, I found towards the end, doing combat was just a way to waste time, more so than something scary, more so than a challenge. And I think that's one area the game has to improve on. As far as the story goes, I think it's really cool. There's clearly a lot I still don't know and need to think about, and I need to gather more information from the other endings, probably, which I still haven't seen. So I'm going to make final judgments on the story after I see those things, and there's probably a lot of room for speculation. Silent Hill seems like the type of game that would leave an open end like that. So I am looking forward to that. I think it was revealed in a particularly neat way, left the player thinking plenty about what is going on, how supernatural are things, who's good, who's bad, throughout the entirety of the play. But yeah, I overall really enjoyed this game. I also want to say thank you guys to those of you that have been commenting and those of you that have been discussing on the Discord, about this game. it's been a ton of fun having so many people that are so passionate about the game enjoy this particular playthrough, share tips, and share their thoughts, share their own experiences with it, and be scared of it, or just really, care a lot about the game and be happy to see someone else enjoying it like they did, themselves for the first time. So again, thank you so much. It makes a huge difference in my own experience of the game. So thank you. And yeah, I think for now, we'll call this the official end of the Silent Hill playthrough. There'll be a bonus episode where I probably experience the Sybil fight without killing her, probably experience the Kaufman series of events, and probably see the endings. Maybe I'll just look them up after doing those particular things, right? So I see what it looks like to do the Sybil ending, save Sybil. I see what it looks like / play through the Kaufman sequence, and then maybe just look up the other 3 endings so I don't have to waste time playing through the rest of the game afterwards, because it would theoretically be the same as everything I just did in this playthrough. And maybe just share my reaction to those as I watch them. But yeah, I'll think about it, and I'll also see what you guys have to say about it, because you guys know better than I do about this game at this point. So thanks again. Really appreciate the support. I really hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. I really hope you guys are looking forward to that bonus video. But until that bonus video, this is Moon Knight Zero, and this mission is complete.